A brand new construction home with luxury features right here in the community of Lower Kennydale in Renton, Washington, with views of Lake Washington from a top deck. Come tour this home with me. Today I have a beautiful home tour for you. This is a new construction property here in Renton, Washington. This is specifically in the Lower Kennydale area. It's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath home, over 3,500 square feet, 2-story, and it has beautiful views of Lake Washington. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday break and a happy new year. I know I definitely did. I went a little bit lighter on posting over the holidays. I know through December it was about like every other week or every third week I was posting a video. I promise I will get these home tours ramped back up starting towards the end of January, early February to get these going through there. I usually take a seasonal slowdown. Take a look at this interior, by the way. Again, we are in Lower Kennydale, which is a neighborhood community in Renton, Washington, which is in South King County. It's on the water of Lake Washington, so you've got really beautiful views of, you can actually see Lake Washington right out of these windows here. So I love what this builder has done with the property. This is another infill lot. I've explained that, what infill is, in previous videos. It's a lot where a builder usually ends up buying a property where it's either a vacant lot or there's the house where they have basically the original home was on this property and they tore it down and built a brand spanking new home on it. And this is happening a lot more all over the east side of Seattle just because finding land is pretty rare around here. We're pretty here in the greater Seattle area, we're sort of landlocked between, you know, squeezed between the mountains and the ocean, the water, the sound. So there's just not a ton of land to be building on. So this is kind of what builders are doing when there's not a big master plan community. Now notice I usually go right into the kitchen, but we're going to do things a little bit different. This house has no downstairs, so it's a 2-story home here. So we are basically checking out the entire bottom level first. Now as we walk through here, this is the nice utility room that you can see here. And as you can see, we're already 3 minutes in. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Aaron Morrow. I'm a local realtor here in the greater Seattle area. I've been working with buyers, sellers, and investors in King, Pierce, and Snohomish counties for over a decade now. Absolutely love it. And if you've noticed already, this is quite long of a home tour. I think it's about 38 minutes long. My typical home tours are on average between 25 minutes all the way up to over an hour. So I like to get very detailed in these home tours. I started this channel off of a spin-off of what I normally do for my out-of-town clients, that I just do these really crazy detailed property tours for them, where I'm telling them what the property smells like, if it has a smell, what the carpet feels like, all that. We're going to be opening cabinets, trying out things. So if that sounds like your jam, you've come into the right spot. Now we are gonna test out the garage door to see how loud it is. Not bad at all. That was pretty, I'd say that's actually below average for what we've shown on the channel. There's been far worse new construction properties that we have shown on this channel that have, or the properties weren't worse, but the sound from the garage doors were pretty bad. That was definitely serviceable. Check out the exterior here too. Love the look of it. I'm gonna quickly show you the outside here before we go back inside, since I'm already out here. Behind the scenes, it's really so I don't have to keep taking my shoes or putting them on and off. Here's the backyard here. Again, very beautiful blue sky. I was actually filming this a few weeks back during, it was the weekend before we started having I guess it was an atmospheric river. So I got blue skies right before we started getting just a week's worth of rain. It actually got crazy. So if anyone's not familiar with the area, there are parts of like in valleys and like parts of Auburn and different locations in South King County that were just completely underwater. Renton was pretty good. This wasn't such a bad area, but it got pretty bad for some people. As you saw when we on the side of the house on the back there are two exterior units there for the heat pump, heating and cooling. Very high efficient, and that's really nice to have a dedicated heat pump for each floor. This property, instead of having a dedicated HVAC system or furnace for each floor, this builder went with the ductless mini split system, and we will check those out in a bit. I'll point them out once we start heading into rooms that have them in there. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video. If you would like to know the property status, if it's currently still for sale, if what it is selling for, so what it was listed for, if you want to check out that information, bedroom, bathroom count, etc., that will be found in the description. So go check out the description to know the status of this property. Again, a lovely utility room. You'll find that about half of these home tours I've shown on this property, the builder does not include they'll include all the appliances in the kitchen, but they're not including the washer and dryer. The builders, or at least all the builders I talk to, they do claim that the main reason behind that is buyers in these price points are becoming a little bit more picky on what washer and dryer unit they have. At least that's what the builders state. So their whole stance is, hey, we'd rather either like give you a credit for it, or we've priced the house knowing that there's not a washer and dryer, and you pick out the washer and dryer that you'd like. Now, this isn't completely off base here. I even am representing a builder right now, currently, that we're selling a property in Sammamish. If you want to go check that out, as of right now, the property is still for sale. I'll pin it here so you can go take a look at that. It has beautiful, gorgeous views of Lake Sammamish. But as that property we're finding, that builder decided to put Decor brand is the name of the high-end appliance. Really nice, big industrial size fridge. Nice gas stove, all by Decor in that property. And the feedback that we've gotten from a lot of people looking in that price point is there's a lot of buyers that are very particular about the style of appliances and the brand of appliance in those properties. The biggest brand names that you come across are, everyone keeps mentioning Wolf and Sub-Zero are probably the two biggest brands that I hear of. You let me know in the comments below, though, when you're searching in these price points. Let's say if you're a buyer that's between that 2.5 mil to that 6 or 7 mil range, depending on where you're looking, is part of the reason you would buy the brand new construction house, would it be based on the appliance that is in there, or would that be a deal breaker for you? Would you not even be willing to negotiate with the builder if they put in different appliances to your liking? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you and your feedback. Your feedback definitely helps us communicate this to builders in the market to know what home buyers are thinking and what their wants and needs are. As you can tell, this is a main level guest suite. So you've got a fully functional main level bedroom down here on the main floor. And it has, again, that ensuite bathroom with the pocket door there. And you had that walk-in closet that we checked out. Lots of beautiful natural light coming through here. You also had this nice little wet bar area, fully functional. Love the aesthetics of it. I'd also like your take. Let me know in the comments below if anything sticks out to you in this property, what you loved the most. I would love to hear from you. This property that we're actually taking a look at now reminds me a lot of a property that I found last year for a buyer on the east side. It was actually up in Kirkland, so the property was definitely a bit more expensive or pricey for the new construction range, but it was a property like this where it was 2 stories, so no basement, just ground level plus upstairs, and it did have a fully functional living space, or at least it had the primary, or like you had a guest bedroom downstairs. Now that one was a little bit different because it did have a fully functional living space. It actually had a secondary kitchen on the main level, and then upstairs had everything else: the primary, the guests bedrooms, the main kitchen, all of that. So this house is familiar. It reminds me of that style of home, and that was super important to them because, one, they kind of are half part-time multi-gen, where their parents do live with them for half the year, and they want their parents to come to a spot where they don't have to go up the stairs, because for the father-in-law, or I guess father, depending on which side of the couple you're talking to, had some trouble going up and down the stairs. And so that's great for multi-gen living situation, but then also, just future-proofing, being able to not have to be forced to move out of home if you love your home and you've grown up in it so much, if you just get too old where you can't take the stairs anymore. So it was kind of the perfect combination. But these builders that are putting the primary, or at least a nice guest suite on the main level, I think it's super smart, and those houses do tend to sell faster. Love the quartz countertops too. Let me know in the comments below, what style of quartz do you like, or at least what color palette. I tend to like the lighter, like these white type quartz counters. I also don't like crazy veins in my quartz, so like I actually tend to like this type of countertop more. But I'd love to hear from you. I have plenty of people that I worked with, where I was working with a couple once that a deal breaker for her, the missus, on she needed black quartz, or she was looking for black quartz, and then she said gold vein would be a plus. I've actually shown a couple of properties on my channel that had that style of quartz, so it was kind of just completely different inverse colors that I naturally gravitate to, but to each their own. And we found them a property that had that, of course. Now again, this is a bedroom technically, because you have the egress window right here, and you have a closet over there as well. Again, peekaboo view of the water here, just showing you how easy it is to open the slider there. Now, one thing, if you want to pause or rewind back to it, this is kind of cool. So on this level, or at least in this office, you'll see that the builder kind of upgraded the unit there. So notice that it is on a ductless mini split system down here. And in this room, you've got that ductless mini split right there that instead of being one of those normal wall units like you saw in the guest suite that we just passed by, they're nice recessed units in the ceiling. I actually showcased a house that was sold in West of Market, Kirkland, last year that had all of these. So 100% ductless mini splits, and they were all 100% recessed in there. I think it's just a little bit more sleek going that extra way, but let me know in the comments if you would prefer it, or if you just don't care to have the big boxy white look of the mini split systems on the wall. And builders go with this design if it's easier to go that route than with, going with an HVAC system. Also, I didn't make my joke, but I always joke that when we walked by that closet or sorry, the under the stairs closet or storage, if you will. If you do celebrate Christmas and you do have a fake Christmas tree, that's where most people, I find, typically are storing it. Let me know what you think of this chandelier. Now, as we keep touring the house, I do want to zoom out for a minute and talk about where this home actually sits. Again, I mentioned we're in Renton, Washington, and specifically this is the west side of the city near Lake Washington. Renton has changed a lot over the last decade, and it's become a place people move to very intentionally, or some people choose not to move to Renton intentionally. So either way you have it. Renton's one of those cities where you love it or you're just not a fan of Renton. But I have plenty of people that rave about Renton too. So I've had lots of buyers move specifically to Renton, and I've had a few that are just like, oh, we'll settle in Renton, and some are like, oh, I want to stay away from Renton. So Renton's one of those areas that, you know, just it has different levels of like or dislike for it. Now, what draws people here is access. You're close to Seattle, close to Bellevue, close to the airport, and you're not boxed into one commute direction. At the same time, you've got waterfront parks, trails, and neighborhoods that actually feel residential. This part of Renton benefits a lot from being right along Lake Washington. You've got the views, the elevation, and a quieter feel. We're still being minutes from everyday convenience. Schools are solid, and the city continues to invest in its infrastructure. And long term, Renton keeps benefiting from job growth on both sides of the lake. It's one of these cities that doesn't feel flashy, but it works really well for real life. Now we are checking out the beautiful primary bedroom with the vaulted ceilings here. Gotta love this chandelier as well. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this primary bedroom here. Lots of natural light flowing in from the front, being on the positioned on the front of the home here. As you can see, a nice large king size bed right there with plenty of room on both sides there for nightstands. And then you have a nice walk-in primary suite here, where this bathroom, you've got the nice heated tile floors here. And you've got two sinks, of course, walk-in shower separate from the large soaker tub. Again, you're seeing that ductless mini split system be into the ceiling. In my opinion, looks so much better than having it on the wall. Now here you go. So now we are checking out this other type that I was talking about, the quartz, where you got the darker quartz with the large veins in it. I'd love to hear from you. Is this your style? Are you into it? Are you not into it? Would love to know. Love these pop up, pop down drain stops there. And then I'm actually a fan of gold. I feel like gold is coming back. Gold is in. Gold is classy, not gaudy. And I'm seeing a lot more gold accents through these properties. Now, of course, as you can see here, there's a really nice large window that brings in a lot of natural light. However, the builder did a tasteful, nice glaze on it, because I'm sure had that glaze not been on there, we're probably staring right at your neighbors. And who wants people looking at them when they are taking a nice long, soaker bath? Unless you're a little bit into voyeurism, I guess. Which, again, no judgment. Now here is the nice, this is a water closet. So this, if the toilet's in a room separate or, separated by the door, it's a water closet. Again, kind of becoming more standard, seeing a lot of builders include that. This is a nice large walk-in shower as well. I like the style of tile work that the builder did on this. It actually looks, and I'm just basing this on looks because that's one thing I don't take a shower in these properties where I test that out, but this looks like it would retain heat very well. I don't know if you guys have ever been in like a shower that just for whatever reason is designed improperly, where it's not trapping the heat in. So if you're not directly under the water, you're feeling like you're either super hot from the water or you're just super cold standing right next to the water, this doesn't look like it would have that issue, especially with the radiant heating flooring, being able to kind of just, bring up the temperature to the room in general. And man, those radiant heated floors, if you leave them on like at even, like at 78 or whatnot for an extended period of time, it will heat up the whole room where it almost feels like a sauna, depending on what style. I've been in a few of these properties where the radiant heating floors were left on, or the heated tile, and you could just feel the intense warmth from just coming from that flooring. Here's a nice large walk-in closet as well. Now, I talked about Renton, Washington as a whole. Let's talk a minute about Kennedyale, the neighborhood or community that is within Renton that this home resides in. So this is one of Renton's most desirable neighborhoods. It sits right on the south end of Lake Washington. You're getting a true lakeside community feel here with quick access to beaches, parks, and some really solid amenities. Home in Kennedyale, it's a mix of older ramblers with mid-century or craftsman charm, along with newer contemporary builds designed to take advantage of lake views. Prices reflect the location, especially if you're close to the water, but buyers love the blend of character and modern design. You're just minutes from Kennedyale Beach Park. Just think of beach access, walking paths, boating, playgrounds, and summer lake days. It's a huge lifestyle perk. For schools, you are going to be in the Renton School District, and for convenience, the Landing is right nearby with grocery stores, restaurants, a huge movie theater, and everyday shopping. You're also in a super central spot for commuting to Seattle, Bellevue, and the surrounding east side. And speaking of drive time, one thing that people always ask is how long these commutes are for the areas they're looking in, especially for people that are looking to move over here that aren't familiar with the areas. So from this house, you're roughly about 15 minutes to downtown Bellevue on a good day, and 20 minutes to downtown Seattle outside of peak traffic. You can easily go over 50 minutes to over an hour though to get to Seattle if you're in bad traffic. Same with, you could be as quick as 15 minutes to SeaTac Airport, but it could typically take longer just due to traffic congestion. One big thing to know about the greater Seattle area is we do have traffic here. We're not as bad as LA, but we get pretty bad. So you want to check drive times, use multiple driving apps, find the one that you're familiar with and most comfortable with. And I would always say expect to add a few minutes to your commute no matter what, unless you've just got a green all the way. You're also very close to major routes without feeling like you're right on top of them. That's a big deal. You can get where you need to go relatively quickly, but when you're home, it definitely feels calm here. That flexibility is one of the biggest advantages of this location. You're not locked into one commute, and that matters a lot long term. You have so many different major commutes around you here. You can take I-5, there's 405, you've got I-90, you've got plenty of highways around you to bebop around the greater Seattle area. So you have some choices. I love the tile of the back of the backsplash, basically. Love these handles too. Nice deep drawers too. Before we check out the kitchen, I want to go and do a quick market update for you. So this is in zip code 98056. Inventory has increased quite a bit compared to last year. We've gone from just over a month of supply to a little more than 2 months right now. Almost double, basically. What that tells us is the market has slowed down from the peak, and buyers now have definitely more options. Homes are taking longer to sell. Days on market have moved up into the 30 to 40 day range, which is very different from what we saw a couple years ago during COVID when, interest rates were super low and money was basically free. Prices are still strong overall, but sellers are no longer getting automatic bidding wars happening. Most homes are closing right around list price instead of well above list price. That shift gives buyers more breathing room right now, especially at higher price points. like this one. This is no longer a rush market. It's a decision market. You have options as buyers. So sellers, definitely price it right, stage it well, present your home well. And as long as you're priced right and you're marketed correctly, you will sell in this market. Beautiful, gorgeous Lake Washington. Love what this builder did with this deck. We're going to go check out the upstairs before we check out the kitchen. Now, I did want to say that the market is still picking up though. So like right around after the holidays, there are some houses when the listing agent and the seller strategically price it right, they are going to get a bidding war. For instance, there's a home that I just toured with a buyer that I picked up over the holidays that we've been looking on the east side, and we actually just checked out one in Kirkland. It was actually a starter home, been pretty updated, and it's priced strategically at 1.1 mil. In my opinion, they probably could have done like everyone else where they priced it at 1.2, and it might have sat for a couple weeks and just got one solid good offer. No, this agent went in pretty aggressive. They're priced at 1.1 mil, and they have a pretty long review period to let a bunch of people through, which is smart on their part. It was a little over a week of a review period, but when we visited, there were 4 other agents there at the exact same time. So I guarantee you they're going to have multiple offers. They're going to actually have a bidding war on their hands, which helps the seller have options to not even just choose the highest offer, but the best one. So that realtor is going to be, picking, helping the seller fielding the offers and figure out which one might be the best one. And they might even be going back to those other buyers, maybe the top 2, to see if they can bid them up a little bit. We'll see how that one shakes out. It ended up not being the right property for my client that I'm working with. They're looking for something a little bit bigger. Again, just fantastic views of Lake Washington there. Love it. It's one of the reasons why one of the builders that I work with, one of my investor partners that I've helped them purchase multiple properties, they ended up buying in Kennedyale. So they actually live on a house up on the hill in Kennedyale where they can actually look over into Lake Washington as well. You can get more bang for your buck with a Lake Washington view in Kennedyale than said if you're looking at Lake Washington like on Mercer Island or in Kirkland, where there's been other stuff that I've featured on the channel that are well over 4 or 6 mil price points to get the same views. Here you can get that view realistically of Lake Washington, and you're going to be in the 2s or 3s, not 5s or 6s. We're talking mil range, right? So check out this really lovely family room here. Really like what the builder did with the gas fireplace here. A lot of usable space here, but it's aesthetically pleasing to look at too. Let me know in the comments below what you're thinking. This house has such gorgeous light that comes through it. I really loved how just natural the natural daylight comes in here. Even when it does get semi-overcast, which it actually did right before filming, it was a little semi-overcast, and the house still had a lot of natural light flowing through it. Again, I like the vaulted ceilings as well over there above. This ceiling's already fairly tall, but then it breaks up right here and you go into a vaulted ceiling above the kitchen and dining space here. Love the pendant lighting as well. Let me know what you're thinking of this kitchen. I think it's gorgeous. Super beautiful. I like the cabinets too. You see the plug-in down there. The last clients I was able to help basically in the new year, or right into the new year, my last transaction, if you will, I was able to help a seller and a buyer basically purchase the home off market. So it didn't even hit the market. We were planning on listing, but we found that the situation wasn't going to be the best fit for my client, the seller originally, and I knew this investor that wanted to help them out. They weren't in a situation where they could do a short sale, but they had to sell. They were separating, and they were in a situation where they were going to be in the hole quite a bit if they sold the traditional route. So we were able to find an investor that I knew through my contacts that would be interested in taking over the property through a wraparound mortgage and to do creative financing, where basically they're taking over everything and allowing the seller to basically walk away from the property and not have the financial responsibility on it, but be basically kind of like bought out of it. So like they're walking away with money, like cash, where they wouldn't have. They would have been owing money at the end there. And instead they're walking away scotch-free. The investor is super happy because now they're turning it into a property that they can really use. It's actually kind of a nice story. This investor, they buy properties for a nonprofit to use as sort of like halfway houses. So it's kind of like a really cool thing that they're doing. But I really liked being able to put that creative deal together and problem solve for those two individuals that needed an out of the box thinking to make it work. And I did not, I was able to make this situation work for them where I didn't charge more for it. So they, we had the investor cover the cost of what it would have been, what my normal amount that I would have charged to list the seller's property. So literally the sellers are in a situation where they can walk away not having to pay a dime at closing. They actually pocket some money, and it worked really well for this investor because, of course, my seller had a much lower interest rate on that loan that we did a wrap on. So it really saved the investor a ton of money on the monthly payments by not having to get a brand new mortgage on the property. It was a super awesome win-win scenario for this client. And I come across those situations all the time. It's one of my favorite things to do in real estate. I've actually had so many transactions where I was working with seller A and then buyer B, and it turns out that marrying the home, playing matchmaker, their house was the right exact situation that would be a good fit to transfer. So I've had a lot of clients where I've been able to help out both sides by doing that. And I get a lot of people into off-market properties this way. It's actually part of my off-market home finders program. If you want to learn more about that, if you're like a home buyer that's looking not just for a good deal, but you're just not finding everything you're looking for, and you want to be on my list, it would be absolutely free to throw you on there. So go check it out. Check out the link in the description where you can answer a few questions for me. So then if I come across the right property that you are looking for, I'm not going to be sending you anything that's on the MLS, anything that's for sale. You can see that yourself, like on redfin.realtor.com or Zillow. But if I come across something that you don't have access to and it might fit what you're looking for, I would love to put it in front of you to also see if I can play home matchmaker. I like this kitchen. And you know what? Again, I'm not a super fan of the dark quartz, but I feel like it works for this property. Let me know in the comments below what you think. This is, I could tell it's a Bosch. Yep. I even forgot what it was, but I knew it was a Bosch dishwasher based on looking at it. I like these styles here where the builder throws in those like hidden cabinets within. I think it's a good utilization of space there. Now, I will also say a lot of these times in these new construction properties, I'm finding that drawer that opens up there to show off the or to access the garbage in recycling, a lot of times they're pretty flimsy. That actually felt very sturdy to me, which I liked seeing. I was showing off hold on, I guess I'm just taking a sip here because I needed some water and some coffee touring this property with you guys. I'm showing off just how large these industrial size fridges are. Love how big they are. I'm 5'8", 5'9" on a good day, and I am eclipsed by this fridge here. Luxe is the brand of the fridge. I see this a lot too. So this is another brand name that I'm coming across a lot in these new builds. So you got a really nice walk-in pantry. It's kind of almost like a butler's pantry. We've got some good use of storage space in here. Really nice large pantry, and of course it's on one of those motion sensors where it kicks on when you walk into it, which is really nice as well. Now, if you are a home seller that likes to watch my home tours as well, and you're just thinking in the future of maybe being able to buy one of these newer style homes down the road, maybe you have an older resale home and you just like to keep up to date with what it might be worth, but not only what it's worth, because Zillow can just send you a Z estimate, but you want to track the total home equity. You want to know how much room you have, what you're working with, maybe how much left you have on your mortgage, maybe what your home could rent out for, what could you Airbnb your house for, all that stuff. If you want a total customized report that's going to give you all the information you'd like to know about your wealth building strategy with your home, I would encourage you to go check out my home equity report that you could sign up for. I just basically need your name, email address, and address where I can start sending that to you on the monthly so you can stay informed on your home's equity. Please go check that out in the comments below. Again, it's absolutely free. Got a lot of people that sign up on that, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback over the years that a lot of people have gotten a ton of value from me being able to send that monthly report. And hey, you can even privately pin me in that, so you can always you can fact check and say, hey, is that accurate, or how much you can is now a good time to sell, that type of stuff. You can send me those questions through that report, and I'm able to get in touch with you to talk to you one-on-one if you so desire. So check that out in the as one of the links in the description. I like this hallway too. I cannot I know I've beaten it with the dead horse, but I just love all this natural light that the builder has put in here through all of the window placements. What do you think about Kennedyale? I'd like to hear from you in the thoughts below. You let me know if you're from the area. What are your thoughts about Renton? What are your thoughts about Kennedyale? I want to know good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. Let me know in the comments below. Let's start a conversation. I'd love to hear from you. And please stick around. Go check out a ton of my other home tours. I post about one a week, or 3 a month is kind of my average. So I would love to keep showing you around town, of course. And there you have it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this beautiful home tour here in Lower Kennydale, Renton, Washington. Again, my name's Aaron Morrow, local realtor here in the greater Seattle area. I've been working with buyers, sellers, and investors in King, Pierce, and Snohomish counties for over a decade now. If you're looking to make your move over here to the greater Seattle area in the next 9 days or 9 months, or you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact info can be found below in the description. If you're looking for some more property tours, or you'd like to hear what others have said about working with me, look somewhere on the screen right here. And of course, until next time, I hope to be showing you some more property tours, and please subscribe to me for more real estate shenanigans. Have a great day.